New Zealand and Australia have deployed search and rescue teams to Vanuatu following the destructive and shallow 7.3 magnitude quake. 14 people have been confirmed dead, but that number is expected to rise. A state of emergency has been declared in the worst affected areas and police have been given powers to impose curfews. There are 83 islands of Vanuatu, but it's Whate, home to the capital city of Port Vila, that has borne the brunt of the disaster. Senior correspondent Lisette Raymer reports.
This is the window of hope, when hunting through rubble is still a life-saving mission, before a rescue operation becomes a recovery one.
There's obviously a lot of people, trapped in buildings at the moment. The reports that I've heard have been about 14 people have been killed and about 200 seriously injured. But obviously we would expect that to rise, and that's why getting our teams on the ground there to offer support and help is a really good thing.
The Kiwi contingent can't arrive soon enough. Port Vila is grappling with a catastrophic emergency.
It's about the size of Lake Taupo. So imagine that's our capital island, so about the size of Lake Taupo. And I've had reports from a pilot that happened to be flying in at the time that he said he could see hillsides dropping and going down.
Power is still out and communications are patchy, which only adds to the distress. The airport is closed and roads are blocked by debris after landslides released boulders big enough to halt traffic.
Holy wow, that's massive.
That came from on top of the hill.
The shock and aftershocks have barely subsided since the quake struck yesterday afternoon.
We're still panicking every time we have a bit of an aftershock. People in the community are still a bit worried. Like a lot of people slept up on the hillsides because we had no comms to text people to say, hey, there is no tsunami alert, you can come down.
Teams have worked tirelessly through the darkness and the summer heat.
We understand that there's 8 people trapped inside and the guys are just moving slowly to be able to get in. It's not a good scene.
3 were found alive here, pulled out from beneath the concrete and rushed to the already overwhelmed hospital.
I saw multiple people with serious injuries there, some of them screaming in pain.
The island is well used to the devastation caused by tropical cyclones, but this is different.
From living memory, this is probably the largest scale damage we've seen from an earthquake.
The Red Cross, prepared with enough food, water and temporary shelter to help 4,000 households, has found its own efforts now hampered by the quake, with the warehouse filled with those supplies currently cut off.
The access to that was damaged by the earthquake and they're now needing some support to be able to access that so that they can respond to the community needs on the ground.
The New Zealand Air Force has spent the day assessing the damage from the skies.
We've got the New Zealand one in now. I can hear it just going over the top, just taking aerial photography to see how bad it is.
And a Hercules was sent in with rescue teams and emergency supplies late this afternoon.
The idea would be also that's a chance to bring back any New Zealand Inc staff or repatriate any Kiwis up there that want to come home at that time.
A mercy flight that will offer relief to stranded and stressed New Zealanders, but more crucially, to those who call Vanuatu home.
Well, Lisette joins us now. And Lisette, is there an update on the number of casualties?
Laura, not officially. We haven't had any updated data, but anecdotally we're definitely hearing that a lot of people are still unable to get in touch with their loved ones. Now, of course, part of that could be because of the communication issues that are ongoing on the island, but there is a widely agreed upon expectation that this death toll is expected to rise. There is some good news. There were some initial fears after seeing what had happened to the New Zealand Embassy building. New Zealand staff, that team, were unable to get hold of 2 of their team members. They have now been accounted for and are safe and sound, so that's some good news. But really, these next couple of days are crucial. There is a 72-hour window, that window of hope, where you have the greatest chance of making rescues. After the 3 days have passed, the chance of survival drops significantly. So workers will want to get in there, search and rescue teams, and work as efficiently as possible by being very careful at the same time of not making the situation any worse.